In the apocalyptic world where zombies roamed, being on a boat was indeed safer than being on land, but food is the biggest problem. Less than a day into the outbreak, the survivors were faced with such a problem that they had to venture off the ship to get food. Joe decided to take Amar to the supermarket where she used to work, while Kat and Sunny stayed behind on the boat. Before nightfall, Joe and Amar successfully arrived at the supermarket. However, as soon as they entered, they were startled by the sudden appearance of a supermarket employee named Chloe. She yelled not to close the door, but it was already too late. The automatic sensor door malfunctioned and could only be opened from the outside. Chloe had been trapped inside all day. Chloe recognized Joe as her former colleague, but Joe had no recollection of her. They attempted to pry open the sensor door but to no avail. Moreover, the glass was bulletproof, making it impossible to break through. Helpless, they started collecting supplies. During their search, Chloe brought up their past, and Joe finally recognized her. Joe had been the queen of scanning in the supermarket, scanning 23 items in just 1 minute, while Chloe could only manage 21. Joe won first place in the competition held that year and earned a chance to travel abroad. Since then, Chloe has been practicing, but even with a broken arm, she couldn't reach Joe's height. Joe attributed her success to luck, inadvertently avoiding the subject. As they continued collecting supplies, Amar suddenly felt an urgent need to use the restroom. However, on his way there, he discovered a horde of zombies on the other side of the supermarket and nearly wet himself in fear. Amar just wants to go to the bathroom and get the hell out of here. Amar pushed open one of the stalls but found a zombie sitting on the toilet. As soon as the zombie noticed the presence of food, it stood up. Panicking, Amar made his way to the shopping area, but he accidentally got caught by the zombie. Chloe realized that the zombie was actually the supermarket manager. The manager's access card on his pants could open the office where the key to the sensor door was kept. Joe grabbed a frying pan and attempted to strike the zombie, but she ended up being grabbed by the neck. Seeing their dire situation, Chloe decisively picked up a knife and stabbed the zombie in the back. However, the attack seemed to have little effect, but it provided an opportunity for Chloe to seek revenge.
And this is for undermining my authority on the shop. This is for the Saturday shift.
In this way, Chloe unleashed her pent-up anger, disregarding Joe and Amar's safety entirely. On the other side, Kat grew worried when Joe and Amar didn't return from the supermarket. Concerned that something might have happened, Kat decided to go to the supermarket as well. However, Kat was unaware that the sensor door could only be opened from the outside. When she found them, the zombie had already been stabbed into a hornet's nest. Now, their task was to make their way through the zombie-infested shopping area and retrieve the key to the sensor door from the manager's office. Kat came up with a clever plan to lure the zombies away with a stereo. Joe and Amar were sent to fetch the stereo while Kat and Chloe were in charge of clearing obstacles. Along the way, as they chatted, Chloe brought up Joe's sister Kat's scanning skills. But when Kat heard this, she revealed the truth. Joe had cheated back then. She had hidden a long string of barcodes up her sleeve to win the opportunity to travel abroad. Chloe was dumbfounded for a few minutes after hearing this. Kat knew she had said something she shouldn't have, but she didn't let it bother her. With everything prepared, they began their operation according to plan. As the music started playing, the zombies were attracted one by one. Kat sat in the shopping cart with the stereo while Amma pushed her around the supermarket. Once all the zombies were lured away, Joe and Chloe took the opportunity to make their way to the manager's office. However, Joe didn't notice that something was off with Chloe's expression. They quickly reached their destination and found the key to the sensor door. Without hesitation, Joe handed the key to Chloe, instructing her to open the door while she went to find Kat and Amar. Unexpectedly, as soon as Joe arrived, she witnessed zombie preparing to attack Kat and Amar, with a horde of zombies closing in from behind. Kat and Amar swiftly knocked down the zombies in front with the shopping cart and made a run for it, carrying several bags of supplies. However, when they reached the exit, they realized that the sensor door remained closed. Confused and puzzled, Chloe suddenly appeared beside them. Joe urged Chloe to open the door, but Chloe remained indifferent. It turned out that Chloe harbored a grudge against Joe for cheating in winning the competition, so the opportunity was taken to retaliate. Despite Joe's continuous apologies, Chloe remained unmoved. She made a gesture and promptly left the supermarket. Joe was utterly bewildered, wondering how Chloe had found out about the cheating incident.
Possibility I might let something slip.
Oh, you fuck.
However, the situation grew worse as the horde of zombies closed in, leaving the three of them with no escape. Just when it seemed hopeless, Sunny arrived in the nick of time and opened the sensor door. The three of them quickly pushed Sunny and made their way out of the supermarket. They narrowly escaped the danger and safely returned to the boat. However, the zombies behind them followed them. Although it was a dangerous encounter, they managed to bring back a significant amount of food. However, the next day, they encountered an unmanned yacht blocking their path in the river. To allow the big red boat to pass through, Joe and Amar had to take the yacht and move it aside. However, once the big red boat had passed safely, Joe did not want to return to the big red boat. She had never driven a yacht before and desired to have her own boat. Despite Kat's objections that two boats would be a burden, unexpectedly, not long after they set off, Kat realized that the big red boat was out of fuel, and the yacht Joe insisted on leaving behind did the trick in the nick of time. Fortunately, there was a nearby refueling station. However, they were surprised to find that there were still people at the gas station. An elderly man approached them enthusiastically, holding a petrol gun in his hand. In post-apocalyptic world, kind-hearted individuals like him were rare, but before they could refuel, they needed to lure Joe's zombie boyfriend away. Joe and Amar took on the task and led the zombie away while also drawing other pursuing zombies along the way. Having a yacht felt great, and it was much faster than the big red boat. Seeing Joe so happy, Amar also wanted to experience driving the yacht. However, Joe heartlessly rejected his request and intentionally avoided the topic. Amar was speechless. They argued about it, unaware that the yacht had gone off course.
Not to be negative.
Joe tried to restart the yacht but couldn't get it to start, and water started flooding into the cabin. To make matters worse, Joe's zombie boyfriend has caught up with them, and is faster than the other zombies. Joe and Amar thought they would be safe on the boat, but the zombie boyfriend unexpectedly jumped into the water. It's hard to believe that it can swim, but the next second the zombie boyfriend really climbed up. Meanwhile, Kat and Sunny, who were refueling, learned from the elderly man that the zombie virus originated from a bar. Despite the military's efforts to contain and control the virus, it continued to spread. Kat and Sunny were frozen on the spot as the elderly man already knew what was going on but was still willing to risk his life to serve everyone. But the next words from the elderly man left them in disbelief. He said that even in the end of the world, life must go on. After refueling, he asked if they would pay in cash or by card. Kat immediately responded that they didn't have money since it was the end of the world and money was useless. However, the elderly man didn't care and pulled out a gun. This action caught Kat and Sunny off guard, and they lied, saying that Joe had the money. As a result, the old man took them with him on his refueling boat to find Joe. As they arrived, they saw Joe fighting against the zombies. Fortunately, the old man stopped the boat just in time, and Joe and Amar quickly disembarked from the yacht. Seeing that her zombie boyfriend was in hot pursuit, Joe grabbed the grease gun and sprayed the yacht furiously. The old man, amused by this, threw a lighter towards she. However, the diesel on the yacht didn't ignite as expected, but it still set the zombie boyfriend's feet on fire. But their joy was short-lived. As the enraged zombie boyfriend lunged at them, Joe ran towards the bow of the boat, grabbed the old man's gun, and fired at the zombie boyfriend, successfully taking him down but accidentally hitting the gas canister on the boat. With the imminent threat of an explosion, they had no choice but to abandon the refueling boat and hastily escape on the yacht. It didn't take long for the refueling boat to explode and kill the zombies on shore. Soon, they arrived at the refueling station, but the boat was damaged, and the old man still hadn't received any payment. Enraged, the old man aimed his gun at them, demanding compensation. However, Joe had no money. Just as the old man was about to take action, Sunny noticed the leaking yacht and came up with an idea. They offered the leaking yacht as compensation, and the old man, thinking he was getting an advantage, agreed. Thus, the old man sailed away on the leaky yacht. They continued their journey, intending to leave Birmingham. However, they unexpectedly encountered military personnel who ordered them to stop the boat because they were evacuating all survivors. Kat relied on years of experience of watching films to sense that something was wrong, but Joe pulled the brakes straight away. They were soon taken by the soldiers to a shelter, where they underwent a medical examination. The teammates felt relieved, thinking they were finally safe, but Kat didn't think so because she found the security to be lax. Meanwhile, while Joe was having her blood drawn, she spotted her ex-boyfriend Rob. Excited, Joe rushed up and kissed him, unaware that her action indirectly caused Rob's death. Just as they were about to rest, Sunny suddenly saw a zombie in the shelter. Amar, who had lost his sleepiness in an instant, saw the soldiers shoot at the zombie without hesitation, knowing that the gunshot would attract more zombies. As expected, a large horde of zombies quickly swarmed towards them, realizing that it was no longer safe to stay there. Rob urged Joe to leave and find the person in the photo. Joe looked at the photo and was shocked to see that it was her boyfriend. Immediately, Joe informed Rob that her boyfriend had turned into a zombie and was killed in an explosion. Rob was taken aback because he was patient zero, and he might hold the key to defeating the virus. Suddenly, gunshots rang outside, indicating that the shelter had been overrun. Unable to explain further, Rob hurriedly led them away. However, during their escape, Joe was attacked by a zombie. Thankfully, Rob and the others saved her in time. They managed to make it outside, only to find that their vehicle had been taken. With no other options, they had to continue on foot towards the riverside. Along the way, Kat tells Rob that Joe's ex-boyfriend can't be patient zero because the city had already had an outbreak of the zombie virus before he mutated. At that moment, Joe felt a sharp pain on her back and asked Kat to check it. She discovered that Joe had been bitten by a zombie, but Kat didn't reveal this to her. Soon they came to the place where the boat was moored. Kat urgently asked Joe if there were any unusual changes in her body. Joe claimed to be perfectly fine, but Rob started experiencing vomiting symptoms. Kat helped Rob onto the boat and examined him for zombie bites, but found none. The scene was almost misunderstood by Joe. Kat asked Rob why he believed Joe's ex-boyfriend was patient zero, and Rob explained that he had participated in a flu experiment where patient zero was involved. As soon as the words are out of their mouths, two zombies come after them. Kat and Joe tried to stop them, but to no avail. Just when things seemed dire, Sonny and Amar arrived. Armed with weapons, Amar fired at the zombies. However, only the zombie's foot was hit, incapacitating the zombie. But another zombie targeted Kat and Joe. Frightened, they fought back with all their strength and managed to push the zombie into the river, but their relief was short-lived as a large group of zombies quickly swarmed towards them. Amar tries to shoot but finds he has run out of bullets. They had to take the boat and escape, only to find that the propeller was stuck on something. At the same time, Sonny and Amar noticed the bite mark on Joe's back. Joe touched her back and almost fainted from the shock. But the most important thing right now was to clean the foreign body. Just as Kat was doing the cleanup, it occurred to her that Joe's boyfriend hadn't been bitten, so why had he turned into a zombie? Kat asks Joe when she met her boyfriend. Joe revealed that they met during a flu experiment and later went to a bar, where a stranger forcefully kissed her. The old man spoke of the virus coming from a bar, and it dawned on Kate that Joe was patient zero. This explained why Joe's boyfriend didn't get bitten but still turned into a zombie. They had intimate contact. At that moment, Kat finally finished cleaning the propeller. However, as they were about to start the engine, they realized that the zombies were already dangerously close. To make matters worse, Rob, who had been kissed by Joe, also started to mutate, but it was soon photographed off the boat by Kat. The crisis is finally over. They decided to continue their escape from Birmingham. Joe, being the zero patient, naturally possessed antibodies against the virus. Their mission was not only to survive in this post-apocalyptic world but also to find military personnel who could utilize Joe's antibodies to develop a serum and put an end to this horrifying catastrophe.